Hi everyone, I'm back in the kitchen. It feels good to be back. I have a special treat for you today. It's my Nanny Warford's gingerbread that she wrote for my Aunt Kathleen back in 1972 when she was going away to get married, and she went away to Toronto, and she's actually still living there as most Newfoundlanders did years ago. I have her recipe right here, and I'm going to share it with you all now. But before I do, I'd like to thank Bonnie Crummy for my beautiful headscarf or wrap. She handmade it, and I do believe she sells them if anybody wants one. Um, my nanny was always seen with a head full of curlers, rollers, and then she'd have a handkerchief over top. And as I was a little girl, I used to cry because I wanted a handkerchief just like Nanny in my hair. And Nanny would take me into her room and put one on just for me. It was so sweet. And today I wish to share her recipe. So to begin, we need a half a cup of butter, and that's going in my bowl. Soften, make sure it's soft because you're going to beat it with sugar. And we also need a half a cup of white granulated sugar in the bowl. So what we're going to do now is cream the butter with the sugar. I'm using my hand mixer. It's a little more quiet than the stand mixer, and I did realize that years ago people didn't have stand mixers, and a lot of people don't have them still today. So here we go. We're going to cream the butter with the sugar, and this butter has been sitting in the oven with the light on, so it's nice and softened. And we're just going to kind of let it go till it creams up. I'm going to push up my mixer a little bit. It's been a busy day or a busy year around here. My goodness, between the dogs and the chickens and the videos and the blog posts and yeah, I've been cutting some hair and it's crazy busy. But I'm back. I'm going to try to dedicate a little more time for this. We're working on a little project that I'll fill you in on later, hence the old recipes. Now that my butter and sugar is creamed, and you can just see that it's kind of creamed together. I'm also using a new mic today, so hopefully you can hear me. We're going to take an egg. This gorgeous egg was laid today by one of my red hens, and we're going to first, like I always do, crack it in the bowl in case you get shell or a chicken. And I got neither. You can see beautiful color. My hens are free range hens, so they get out and run around, and it's amazing. We're on a couple of acres, and the amount of ground that they cover is quite amazing. So I'm just using my little whisk, and I'm going to beat this egg up a bit. Then we're going to measure and sift our dry ingredients. I've already have them measured, so our egg is beaten. We're going to take 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. Arm & Hammer I'm using. We're also going to make sure you get it all out. We're also going to use a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ginger, and a half teaspoon of ground cloves. Everything is ground. And along with that, a half a teaspoon of salt, regular table salt. You can use sea salt if that's all you have, just, a fine texture. And now what we're going to do is just kind of sift that together just so it's kind of combined and everything's not into like one big lump. Give it a little stir. Next thing we need to do is mix 1 cup of fancy molasses. This is what I'm using here. With 1 cup of hot water, I'm just going to grab my kettle. It's not boiling water. It's just hot water that I boiled it earlier and kind of let it cool to be able to use it. I didn't want to get too cold on me. We're going to use 1 cup of hot water. And we're going to mix that now with 1 cup of fancy molasses. I say fancy because you can get blackstrap molasses, which was, quite a staple in households years and years ago. A lot of times people couldn't afford the fancy molasses. Fancy molasses is a little sweeter and a little, I guess, less strong tasting. It's quite good. I could drink molasses. It's really, really good. So we're going to combine the hot water and the molasses, and we're going to give it a stir to make sure they're really well combined. Now, what she says to do next is add the dry sifted ingredients along with this a little bit at a time into this. I had to read the recipe a couple of times to make sure I had it correct. So I'm going to first add my beaten egg. Oh my God, the color, they're almost neon. Into my butter and sugar. And I'm going to give that a little blend, I guess. Mix it up just a bit. I hope it's not too noisy, especially with the mic on now and this mixer. A little faster. And once you get your eggs, your 1 egg, sorry, and your butter and sugar kind of combined together, we're going to start adding these things. So a little bit of sifted. Let that mix in. And I'm assuming this is done because of the baking soda, maybe. I know if you overmix baking soda, sometimes it doesn't rise properly. Now we're going to add a little bit of our molasses hot water mixture. Ooh, careful not to make a mess. Oh my goodness, you could smell all the spices, and it is wonderful. Another little bit of dry. You can see it as it's going. It's, a little dry, and then the liquid makes it a little better. So we'll just keep going with that. Little bits at a time. Patience is key when baking and cooking. If you're in a rush and you're in a bad mood and all of that goes into whatever you're baking. So my son tells his girlfriend a lot of times, Mom always makes a sprinkle of love on everything she bakes, and it really makes a difference. And I said, yes, Jennifer, it really, really makes a difference. And anyway, she's been doing it ever since, and it does make a difference. A sprinkle of love goes a very long way. For those of you that have been following Pork Chop, my rooster, famous rooster, and the hens, we had a little hen back in March, I think it was. We had very, very cold, like minus 25, 27 wind chill, and she got a little frostbite on her toes. So we take her in, and she's been in the basement ever since. Anyway, it's going to be May 24th weekend this weekend, and she is just about ready to go outside. And hopefully now everyone will accept her back, and it'll be all good. Our gingerbread is coming along nicely. Be careful, not to add too much dry at a time, like I just did. Almost. I'm working on a little blog post for Pork Chop too. And the little project that I'm working on, I will absolutely fill you in later on. But yeah, we just made, I'm not sure if you saw Nanny's deep dark chocolate cake. Amazing. I will do a video for that later as well. I just realized I don't have my pan over here. But that's fine. I'm sure you guys know how to put cake into a pan. I like to give my bowl a little turn to make sure I'm getting all the ingredients. I really don't like to scrape the bowl while I'm using the mixer, afraid of the spoon get caught down and danger. Safety is #1 priority, says the Russian hacker. He's a funny guy. He he buys out things and tries them out, all these new gadgets and stuff. It's quite interesting. I'm going to add the last of my liquid now. Put that aside. And we're just about done. Wasn't that quick and easy? So what I'm going to do now that this is just about mixed, I'm going to put it in a 9 by 9 square pan, I think I'm going to use. And I'm going to grease and flour it. Nanny didn't specify whether to do that, but as a safety precaution, I am absolutely going to do that. And yeah, we're going to bake it then in a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes or so, or until a toothpick comes out nice and clean. Aren't you glad the mixer is over? I'm working on editing the videos. I will get there soon, unless somebody wants to come do it for me. So once you got that done, just take your little bowl, mix scraper, and kind of scrape. Make sure you've got all of the ingredients off the sides and off the bottom. And you can see we've got this gorgeous cake batter here now. And I'm going to pour that into my pan. I'm going to try to come back with another video to show you the cake after it's all cooked. I'm not sure what Nanny served it with. I'm thinking just a sprinkle of powdered sugar. I don't think cream cheese frosting was a big thing back in the day. The other thing that would be really nice is if you served it warm with like vanilla bean ice cream. Yummy. Anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back. Have a wonderful day.